Hello everyone, my name is Ankit Jain. I welcome you all to my channel Tech Journey with Ankit. In today's video, we will go over another Apex trigger scenario where we will be discussing one of the scenario that has been asked in the PwC interview question. In this video, we'll try to understand how to write down the triggers on the complex scenarios. So the scenario, before we go over the scenario for today, in case you folks like to have one-to-one connect with me, you guys can do that on the top mat. So you guys can click on the link or also scan the QR code. You will be coming up on this particular page where you will get the two options. First option is to have one-to-one connect with me to discuss on your Salesforce queries, your guidance, any kind of a guidance in case you guys are stuck into the project, want to have a discussion around it, we can do that here. Moreover, you can also navigate to the digital product where lots of digital products that I have provided. You can go and purchase those digital products, which will help you to speed up your learning journey. So here you do have the digital products related to the LWC admin interview prep guide, which will help you to get speed up for your interview preparation related to the data cloud as well. So make sure you folks check that out and do let me know your thoughts related to this in the comment section. Now, going back to the scenario one more time, in case you folks like to connect with the larger community, please connect or join this Telegram channel where we discuss all the queries or the different types of queries that you can encounter in your Salesforce journey. Now, the scenario for today here is this, and the scenario is a bit interesting, so pay attention on this. Okay, so there are two objects which are available. One is the account and the subscriber object, where the subscriber object will have a checkbox field. So there are two related objects. One is the account and second is the subscriber. Account is the parent and the subscriber is the child, right? The subscriber object have one checkbox field and the name of that checkbox field here is the recent. What we have to do as a part of the scenario here is we have to always ensure that the recent checkbox is checked for the last subscriber. So whenever a new subscriber is getting created, we have to make sure that the recent checkbox is checked for that subscriber, and from the previous subscriber, that checkbox should automatically go and unchecked. Moreover, what we have to do here is in case the recent subscriber is deleted, for example, the user comes and delete the recent subscriber, then whoever was the last recent subscriber, you have to go and update that checkbox to true. So again, the point here is every time you have to make sure that there can be only one recent subscriber in your scenario. And the second thing here is they are specifically asked to take care for the two different event, insert as well as the delete. Now the question to you folks that I want you go and pause the video and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Question number one, on which object you will be creating the trigger. There are two objects which are involved here, account and the subscriber. On which object you will be creating the trigger. If you folks are following this series of the trigger, you can definitely answer this question because there are many times I have explained this. Moreover, the second point that you have to answer here is what all different events will be applicable for this scenario. Okay, so make sure you guys are pausing the video and answering it, and then do verify your answer with the upcoming video now. Now coming back to the implementation, what I have already done in my org here is I have already created the custom object with the name of the Apex, with the name of the subscriber. So here, this is the custom object that I have already created, right? And on that custom object, if I navigate to the fields and relationship, so I already have here the field with the name of recent. And as I said, this custom object, it is linked with the account. Okay. So it's a relationship where account is the parent and the subscriber is the child. Now we'll go and write down the trigger. Can you implement the similar kind of a scenario in the flow? Again, the answer is yes, but the complexity will be high. So I will recommend whenever you do have that kind of a scenario, always go for the trigger over the flow. Now going back to the trigger one more time. So let's go and create the trigger. Here I am creating the trigger. And I am naming the trigger here as subscription trigger, right? And this trigger I am creating on the object that is the subscribe object. So here I go and put the subscribe underscore underscore C. Again, the event that will be applicable in this scenario, there will be two events. Actually, one is the before insert and second one here is the before delete scenario. So there are two scenarios that will be applicable in this. Can you do this in the after insert, after update? It's not required because you have to update the same record. So I believe you can easily do it in the before insert as well as the before delete scenario. Again, we'll try to follow all the good practices that we have covered multiple times. So here I am checking if the trigger is the before trigger. And after that, I do have the checks here to check if the user is performing the insert operation. In the case of insert, we know that we have to go and pass the context variable trigger.new. I will be creating one handler class and will be adding that method. Okay, so here I go and put subscription. Or let's say I'm putting the method name here is the before insert method to make it more readable. And also I am adding one more context, that is the delete context, where I'm putting the delete. In the case of delete, the context variable in which the values will be available is the trigger.hold. In my earlier series, in my earlier videos, I have already given the chart how to identify what kind of context variable needs to be passed. Now let's go and create this method. So here I go and create the Apex class. And in that Apex class, I will be creating the two methods. One is the before insert and second one here is the before delete. So here I go public static void before insert method, where I'll be having the list of new subscription list, right? Again, I will write down the business logic in a while. So why new? Because I am passing here the trigger.new. Again, you can give any name, that does not matter, but it's better to give the more logical name so that you can also relate. And here in the case of another scenario that I do have public static void, again zoom this a bit, it will be before delete, where I do have here the old subscription list. Right now we go and write down the logic for the before insert as well as the before delete. So what I will be doing, the very first check that I am checking here is whether, because it's a lookup field, right? So it is not mandatory that all the subscription records will have the account. So for the first thing that I am checking here is whether the subscription is connected to the account or not. So that is the first check that I am doing. So how I will do this, I will go and iterate over the subscription and from the new subscription list. While iterating over this, I will be checking whether it is connected with the account or not. So here I go and use string dot is not blank, and here I am using the sub subscription dot account. In case it is not blank, that means it is connected with the account. In case it is connected with the account, I want to store all those account IDs into one set. So here I go and put set of ID, that is the account ID set, is equal to new set of ID, right? And after that, in that account ID set, I will go and add the account record. Right, so we are checking as a part of first step whether it has been linked with the account or not, because it's a lookup relationship. Not everyone will be linked with the accounts. That's why we are having that check. In case it is linked, I am storing it into the account ID set. Again, why we are storing it into the ID set? Because there are few operations that I have to perform on this, right? Because I have to go and uncheck the old record as well. So that's why what I am doing here is I am storing all the accounts to go and uncheck their old record. There is one more thing that I will do here is, because I have to go and set the subscription flag, right? So in the loop only, what I will do, I will go and set the recent flag is equal to true automatically. So all the new subscriptions that we are doing, we are automatically taking care that they are marked as the true. Okay, now to the old subscriptions, what we have to do now, we have to go and make it as the false. So here I go, I'm checking if the set is not empty. If the set is not empty, then what I will do, for each account, I will go and get the old subscription record. So how I can go and get the old subscription records? So here I go and put list of subscript, or let me do something like this. Okay, list of SUB, yeah, list of subscription. Let's say I am giving the name here as the existing recent subscriptions that are available. So I am getting all those recent subscriptions. So select ID, comma, recent underscore underscore C, comma, account underscore underscore C from the subscription object that I have. But again, which records I am interested in, where the two criteria are met. First one here is the recent is equal to true, because whatever the recent is equal to true in the past, I am interested in only those records, right? For the accounts which are already having the recent is equal to true, I am only interested in those records. So what I will do here is, here I am putting the recent is equal to true, and finally here I am using the account ID in the account ID set. Here we don't have to check for the current record here, because we are performing the operations in the before insert. As of now, those records are not inserted. So even though we go and make the query here, those records will not come up, right? So whatever the existing records that we do have, what we will be doing here is, we go and set the reset flag to false. Again, we don't have to perform the any DML operation. The reason being, uh, those records are not modified yet, but again, these records are not the part of the context also. So let's go and perform the DML operation. It's okay, because those records might not be the part of the DML. So this is something that we have to check, but for the timing, what I will do here is I will go and perform the DML operations on those records. So again, I am iterating over this existing recent list, where what I will do here is I will set the recent flag to false. And finally, what I am doing here is, with the help of try catch block, here I go and check one more thing. If this is not empty, right, then and then only I will go and perform the DML operation here. Okay. And here I can go and put exception ex system.debug, and here I am putting the error occurred while updating the subscription field, and here I am printing the exception message. That's it. That's what we are doing. We are first setting the recent subscription to true, and whatever the old subscriptions that we do have, we are setting that particular flag value to false. I believe we have to go and perform the DML operations here. Otherwise, how the system will understand these records needs to be modified, because no DML operation has been initiated on those records. So that's why we are performing the DML operation, because they are not the part of the context. Now, the second thing that we have to do here is for the delete, and we will go and test it out together. Okay, so now coming to the delete part. In the case of delete, what we have to do, we have to go and mark the old one as the recent one. We have to go and mark the whatever the old one that is available, we have to go and mark that one as the recent one. Okay, in case the user is deleting the recent subscriber. So there are two checks that needs to be done. First one here is deleted subscription is recent, and the deleted subscription is linked to account. So there are two checks that needs to be done. So that's what I will be doing. So let me go and iterate over the subscription now. For subscription, yes, UBSCR from the old subscription list. Okay, and I will be checking the two things. First one here is if the recent one is true, and the second check that I will be doing here is the account for that one is not blank. In case the account is not blank, then and then only we have to go and perform the operation. So what I will do in this scenario, I will go and store the complete transaction into a map. Okay, whatever that needs to be deleted, let me go and store that into the map. So account to, let me give the map here, that is the ID where I'll be putting the account ID, and also I am putting the ID where I'll be storing the subscription ID. So account with recent sub ID. Okay, I am storing it into the map. So new map of ID comma ID. Now into the map, let me go and add the value. So here I go and put the value as the subscription account, because there can be one subscription and there can only be one recent one, right? So here I go and put the subscription ID on the top of it. So now my map is ready, where the recent is equal to true and along with the account and the subscription details. Now the next thing that I will be checking before I move further, whether this map is empty or not, because my further logic will make sense if the map is not empty. So here I am having that check. In case the map is not empty, now I have to go and get the old subscription. So how you can get the old subscription? So there are two conditions that needs to be put here. First, you have to go and get the old subscription from the account. And the second one here is whatever the subscription record that you are getting, it should not be the part of the deleted subscription. It should not be the part of the deleted subscription. So there are two things that needs to be put up here. So what I will do also, one more thing, whatever the subscriptions that I am deleting, let me also go and store that subscription into one of the variables. So deleted subscription ID. Okay. ID set is equal to new set of ID, and here I go and add the deleted subscription ID, that is the SCR.ID. These are the checks that I will put up here. Okay, now what the next thing that I'll be doing here is, here I go and write down my SQL query to make that check. So here again I am making the query on the subscription, and here I am giving the method name here as the potential. These are the potential subscribers, right? So here I am giving the name as the potential subscribers is equal to select, let's say ID comma recent underscore underscore C comma account underscore underscore C from the subscription. Now which records I am interested in? Only those accounts which are the part of this key set. So here I am putting that where the account is available in this particular account is available in this particular key or this particular map. So how to get the keys from the map? So we use the key set method to get the keys from the map. So this is my first check that I am putting up here, where I am only getting those records which are the part of the key, right? That is my first condition. And my second condition here will be, and the subscription IDs that I do have, it should not be available in the deleted subscription record. My subscription ID, it should not be available in the deleted subscription records. Again, this is the binding variable. So let me go and put the binding variable. So what will happen? It will give me all the subscription records. It will give me all the subscription records which are already existed, on which deletion request is not initiated. But in my problem statement, the ask here is, if you can see, I have to go and get the last one. Right? Whenever the user is trying to delete the subscriber, I have to get the most recently created subscriber. So how I can get the most recently created subscriber? Again, for that, I will be doing the order by. And order by, I'm doing this here on the last modified date field. And it should be available in the descending order, because that one should be come on the top. So for each account, whatever the subscribers are available, I am getting all the subscribers which are sorted based on the last modified date. Right now, The next thing that I will do here is I will go and iterate over this potential subscriber, because I have to mark the last one as the true. So what I will do here is here I go and iterate over it for subscription of the potential subscriber. So here I go and check, or let me go and maintain another map in which I will go and add the new subscription. So what I am doing here is let me go and create one more map, that is again the ID, and in the second one I'll be adding the complete subscription records. So here I'll be putting the subscription uh, records, and I'm giving the name here is account to new subscription is equal to new map of ID comma subscription underscore underscore C, and this is my subscription underscore underscore C. Now in this map, what I will do while I am iterating over it, right here I go and do one thing. What is the one thing that I will do? I will go and add the values, but again the way I will go and add the values here is into the map. Here I am putting the put. First thing that I need to check whether the record is already available or not, because I need to mark only one subscription record, which is coming up as the last recent. So how I am checking here it, pay attention on this. Here I am checking whether the value is available in the map or not. So in this map, do contains key, and which key we are looking for? We are looking for her for the key for the account, subcr dot account underscore underscore C. So here we are looking for the key. In case the key is not present, that means this is the first time we are adding the entry into the map. Then what we will do? I will go and add the entry into the map. That is the subscr dot account underscore underscore C comma subscr. That's what I am doing. So here, while iterating over it, I am checking whether the key is available or not. In case the key is not available, then I am adding that key into the map. So let's try to run this. Okay. So first time when I'm iterating over the loop, imagine that one account can have the multiple subscription, something like this. Let's say account A1, it can have the subscription S1. After that, it can have the subscription S2. After that, it can have the subscription S3. Imagine that this subscription is added on the 1st of January. This subscription is added on the 2nd of January, and the third subscription is added on the 3rd of January. Okay, so by default, while inserting, we are already making this as the recent one. Now what the user is trying to do, user is trying to go and delete this particular subscription. So if this subscription is deleted, basically we have to make sure that we are marking this one as the recent. So how we are marking this one as the recent? So very first thing that I am doing here is I'm storing all the subscriptions that I am deleted into this particular set. So this particular set will have the value here as S3. Okay, and there is another map that I have created. In that map, I do have all these subscription records. So this map basically will have all those three values, something like this map will have all the values, something like A1, sorry, not all the values, A1 comma S3. It will be available in this particular map. Let me go and put something like this. Okay, I'm just giving you the initial thing. What will be happen in the case of delete subscription ID? This will be the value, and in the case of this, in this map, I do have the value something like A1 colon S3. Okay, now with these details, what we are trying to do now, we are going into the requirement where we are saying that it's not empty, because yes, it's not empty. So it will go inside. It will look for the potential subscribers. Now I am making the query on the subscription object where I will get the 3 subscribers for one account, right? And I am making sure that I am getting here sorted by the last modified date. So my 2nd of Jan will be coming up as the first. Okay, so now in my potential subscriber list, I do have these 2 entries. Okay, so let me go and put this in my potential subscriber list. Now there will be 2 entries coming up, that is the S1 as well as the S2. Now I am making, again, the way it will be available here is S2 comma S1 because I'm sorting it based on the last modified date. So this is how my potential subscriber now have the values. Now what I am doing here is I am iterating over this potential subscriber, and while iterating over it, I am storing the value into another map now. So imagine that this is another map that I do have. Okay, when I'm iterating it for the first time, again this map is something which is empty. So whenever I am iterating over it for the first time, I am checking whether the account is available, whatever the account that I am iterating. So basically both of them belongs to the A1, all right? So here I am checking whether the A1 is available or not. So no, A1 is not available. So what it will do, it will take this entry and store it into the map. So now my map have the A1 colon S2. Now, next time I am again iterating, it will check whether the account is already available in the map. Yes, the account is already available. So this condition will not execute and my S2 will be the last recent one. Okay, now my S2 became the last recent. Now what you can do, you can go and set the value as true for the S2 as well. So how you can do that? So what I will do here is, this is my map where I do have the values. So let me go and iterate over all the values of the map. So here I'll be putting for. So whenever you have to iterate over the values, you will go and use the method subscription. It is a subscription or what? No, it's a subscribe. Somewhere I'm doing a mess up. Okay. So what is the API name of the object? Let me go and get the correct API name. A subscriber actually, not subscribe or anything. So this is the one, and let me go and do the quick correction. Oh my God, there are lots of places I have used that with the wrong name. Okay, one thing that I will do to make my life easy, I will go and search with the underscore C. So everywhere I am use the wrong name. So let me go and correct it. So here also it shows this. Okay, so this is good. Scroll down. Here also it was subscription. Subscription. I'm just correcting the name. I'm sorry for the confusion. I should actually take the correct name first time only, but that's fine. Okay, now where is this, right? Except right, and now I believe we are good, right? So what I will do here is I will start iterating over it from the subscriber object where I'll be putting the sub, and I'm getting all the values. So whenever you have to get all the values of the map, you will use the dot values method. So here I'll be using the dot values method. What I will do now, for each record, I will go and update the recent flag. So here I will go and update the uh, recent flag value to true. And again, we don't perform the DML operation into the loop. So what I will do here is I will go and create another collection, that is the list of subscriber underscore C to update list is equal to new list of subscribers, right? And in that to update list, we'll go and add the subscription record. Okay. To in that list, I will go and add the subscription record. Right now, again, this was the explanation that I have given. I hope it makes sense to you. Now I am simply taking that S2 record and setting the flag value as true. That's the only thing that I am doing now. Can you make this in a lesser step? Again, the answer is yes, but I'm going it more detail so that everyone can understand. Now, I do have this updated list ready. So here I go and check if it is not empty. Then and then only I will go and perform the DML operation in the try catch block. So here I go and put the update to list and print in the exception. In case of any exception happens, here I go and print the exception. The delete one was a bit tricky because you have to get the last one, right? You have to make sure that your last one is not the one that you are already performing the operation. Why we have to do this? Because we are doing it in the before delete. So there can be a possibility that you might be updating the same record. So you have to make sure that you are skipping the same record on which the user is performing the operation. And that's what we are doing here with the help of this set. We are skipping the one on which user is performing the operation. Let's go and deploy this and test it out. Again, this is the kind of a trigger that definitely you have to go and do the practice, watch it multiple times, but make sure that you guys are doing it because you have to clear the interview. And nowadays the interview bar is very high. Definitely the questions that will be asked, it will not be very much straightforward. It will be something like this only. Because with the Gen AI now, the things are more easy to do. But again, the expectations also increased from the developers now. So let's go and deploy this and we will go and test it out. So navigating back to my org, here I go to the account and let's navigate to one of the account for the testing purpose. So or let me go and create the fresh account, okay, so that we can test it from the scratch. So here I go and put the test subscription, okay, and trigger and clicking on the save button. Here I have already put the related list. I have added that related list. I have made sure that it is sorted based on the last modified date. So what I am doing here is here I am creating the subscription. I am not checking this recent flag. The expectation here is system should automatically go and check it out. You can see that the system is automatically checking it because this is the first subscription. Now let me go and add another subscription. So if I'm adding another subscription, now my new subscription is have the updated flag and my existing subscription recent flag value has been removed. Let me go and add one more, right? So you can see now on the sixth one, it is showing the recent one. It is showing now the recent flag is checked, but the other one it is unchecked. Now what I am trying to do here is I'm trying to go and perform the delete operation on the recent one. So that expectation here is my last recent one, which was 005, it should be marked as the recent. So let's go and test it out. So here I go perform the delete operation. If I go and try to delete the record, you can see that now my last subscription record is marked as the recent one. If I again go and delete the fifth one, then my another last subscription record, that is the 004, it is marked as the recent. I hope you folks found this video helpful, got the understanding, right? This was the question has been asked to the 4+ years professional, where they have to ask to write down the this kind of a trigger. Again, the trigger is very simple. Only you should know how to manipulate the collection. It's all about the collection. Whenever you have to write down the apex, you should be having the very good command to store the different values, iterate the different values out of the collection, because you have to always make sure that you are bulkifying your code, not writing down your anything into the SQL query. Do let me know your thoughts. In case there's any question that has been asked to you and you want me to cover in the future session, you can always let me know in the comment section. Thank you. Have a good time.